How did ancient humans really choose a leader? Most people imagine one thing: the strongest man in the group, the biggest hunter, the loudest voice, the ancient alpha male. But the honest answer is more interesting. We do not know one exact system for all ancient humans. There was no one ancient election, no single rule, no crown, no throne, and no written constitution. For most of human history, humans lived in small groups, and in a small group, leadership was not always about power. It was about usefulness. If the group had to hunt, they followed the best hunter. If the group had to travel, they listened to the best tracker. If the group had to find water, they trusted the person who knew the land. If someone was injured, they listened to the person with healing knowledge. If there was conflict, they needed someone calm enough to stop the group from falling apart. So the leader was not always one person. The leader could change with the problem. One person could lead during a hunt. Another could lead during a migration. Another could lead during a dangerous argument. And another could lead because they remembered old stories, old paths, and old mistakes. That is the part people often miss. Ancient leadership was probably not just who is strongest. It was who should we listen to right now. Strength mattered, but strength alone was not enough. A strong person could help protect the group. A skilled hunter could bring food. A good speaker could persuade people. An older person could carry knowledge. But if someone tried to dominate everyone, that could become dangerous because small groups did not have kings, police, taxes, or armies. A leader could not simply command people like a ruler. People had choices. They could ignore him. They could argue. They could laugh at him. They could refuse to follow. They could leave. And if the whole group turned against one person, power became very hard to keep. So leadership had to be earned, not just taken. The best leader was not always the most aggressive person. It was often the person people trusted. Someone generous, someone skilled, someone brave, someone who made good decisions, someone who helped the group survive. This is why ancient leadership was different from modern leadership. Today, a leader can sit in an office far away. But in an ancient group, everyone could see what you did. If you were selfish, people noticed. If you lied, people remembered. If you took more than your share, people talked. If you made bad decisions, people suffered. And if people suffered too much, they stopped listening. That made leadership fragile. You could have influence, but you had to keep proving you deserved it. This also explains why stories mattered. A good storyteller was not just entertainment. Stories could teach survival. They could warn about danger. They could explain rules. They could keep the group together. And someone who could speak well could become important. Because leadership is not only about strength, it is also about attention. Who does the group listen to? Who do they trust in danger? Who do they follow when nobody knows what to do? That was probably the real ancient test. Not who could beat everyone in a fight, but who could make the group move together. Later, when humans began living in larger settlements, leadership started to change. More people meant more conflict. Stored food meant more wealth. Land meant more control. And bigger groups made permanent leaders more possible. Over time, chiefs, kings, states, and empires appeared. But that was not how leadership began. The first leaders were probably not rulers sitting above everyone else. They were useful people inside the group. The hunter who knew where the animals moved. The elder who remembered where water could be found. The speaker who could stop revenge. The healer who knew what plants might help. The brave person who stayed calm when others panicked. So how did ancient humans really choose a leader? Not always by voting, not always by birth, and not simply by strength. They chose leaders by following the people who helped them survive. Because in the ancient world, leadership was not about looking powerful. It was about being useful when it mattered most.